Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Neo. In this video, we are working on a new client. We are going to be doing a birthday set with some gorgeous glitter and bling. First things first, I sprayed her hands down with some alcohol. This is just helping to disinfect and to further dehydrate and to moisten up the skin. And I'm going to use my plastic rubber tipped cuticle pusher to push back the cuticles. Then I'm going to go in with my diamond skiver bit. This is at a very low speed, and I'm just going from left to right, scraping up any dead skin on the nail plate around that cuticle area. This is usually where you're going to find the thicker skin that's on the nail plate, or sometimes it's a little bit oily if your client has like oily skin. I just find it's important to just make sure you get this up off the nail, because this is where you're most likely to get lifting, if any. It just helps to remove as much of that dead skin that's stuck down on that nail as possible. I enjoy this skiver bit because I can kind of get underneath the eponychium a tiny bit to kind of flake away that dead skin that's stuck to that area. And it's a diamond abrasion, so it is safe to use on the natural nail. Again, I'm using it at a very low speed, and I'm using the Coupa Me file. It does not have an LED display or numbers around the dial, so it is by feel. So for you, whatever speed works for you, but best when working on the natural nail to just use as slow speed as possible. After that, I'm just going to buff the natural nail with a fine sanding band. I'm using it at around the same exact speed. This is a very light touch. I am barely using pressure on the nail. It is just to remove the shine and to give myself a nice base to start applying our enhancement. I'm not pressing hard. I'm not removing too much of this natural nail. We don't want to go down and damage the nail. It is just a quick buffing with the E-file. I'm going in with my ball bit. This is another diamond abrasion bit, and this client had just a little bit of excess of dead skin on the cuticles. She does bite her skin and it was a bit dry, so I just used the ball bit to kind of smooth things out. If you're uncomfortable cutting the client's skin, and or if it's like not legal in your state wherever you're practicing nails, this is a great option to kind of buff the skin so that you have a smooth appearance. I'm going in with my favorite tips. This is the One Step Coffin tips by the two guys. As you can see, I'm placing a very tiny bead of glue near the free edge of her natural nail, and then just holding the tip on so that the glue kind of spreads into the tip. This is a no well, so there's no kind of like indent around the tip of the nail so that we know where to place it. I enjoy this. I can, move the tip lower or higher as I see fit, but I enjoy a no well because, as you can see, I am placing the tip on the very tip of the nail. I'm not placing it down over the nail plate because we want that to be covered with enhancement. And in terms of keeping the nail straight, as you can see, I said this to her while I was doing her nails, her pointer finger does do a little bit of a dip to the bottom right of the screen. So in order to counteract that, I am placing the tip kind of towards the bottom left to kind of give it a straight appearance. And I told her, if I were to apply this tip in line with your free edge of your natural nail, the tip would be going in that crooked direction. So if you encounter people with, crooked fingers, I find almost everybody has at least one crooked finger so far that I've seen. But if you encounter that, the best way to combat that is just to look at the knuckles of the finger and kind of imagine a straight line going down and then apply the tip in that direction versus applying a tip on a crooked finger and then ending up with a nail that's going like sideways, So I went in and clipped them down. She wanted a coffin tip, so these tips were perfect because they're called the One Step Coffin. They're really gorgeous. So I am just filing because the very edge of the tips were kind of staying up off her sidewalls. I don't want that to be there because we might have a service breakdown. So I'm just going in and filing off the edge of those tips, but there's not much filing to do in terms of the tip because they do give you a really nice coffin shape. After that, I'm going to take my E-file and begin to blend the seam of where the tip touches the natural nail. You're going to see me, I'm using the same speed and the same light pressure, and I'm mostly focusing on the very tip where the tip touches the natural nail. I will file over that glue area just to kind of get back to that dusty nail layer that we enjoy, but for the most part I am just blending the tips onto this nail. And it's time for prep. The same thing that I always use. I'm using the Mia Secret dehydrator. I'm using the Extra Bond by Mia Secret, and then a thin coat of the Young Nails Protein Bond. After allowing that to dry for a few moments, we get into the actual set. So as you know, I like to place a clear bead of acrylic down the length of the nail. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm using a size 14 brush. That's the brush that I, mostly feel comfortable with. Look at how tiny her pinky was. I was like, girl, this pinky is so tiny. I couldn't even pick up a full bead of acrylic to apply to her pinky nail, but I am just giving her a nice base down the entire length of the nail and tip included of this clear acrylic. I like to use the Young Nails Core Clear. The reason why I'm doing this is to give myself a nice smooth base. It helps to give me a visual aid when the client comes back to remove their set, and it helps to protect the natural nail from staining and or any damage that might occur in the removal process. So multiple reasons. Also, clear has the best adhesion. There's nothing in it, no pigment, no mica, no glitter to disrupt adhesion. So I always enjoy putting down a clear base on the nail before starting with any design. It just helps to give me a nice smooth base. So if you're someone who doesn't blend their tips, this helps with that as well. And it just helps, like I said before, with protecting the natural nail of your client. With this step, I'm just making sure to not flood the cuticle and or sidewall area. We do not want any issues. As you can see, I use the tip of my brush to kind of swipe away any product that might be touching the skin. We just want a nice solid base so that whatever we build on top will last as long as the client needs it to. After that, we are going to get started with this design. So we are using basically one whole color for this set, which is like, wow, right? This client came in and had some inspo, and we kind of, did something a little bit different, but for the most part, we are going in with this really, really gorgeous soft sheer nail plate nude color called Bear by Sugar and Cream. I actually used it in a previous video. I will link it. It was that jade stone marble set with the gold foil. I'll definitely link that in the cards for you to check out, but this is a really gorgeous color by Sugar and Cream. The client chose it for herself, and I thought it was a great look for her. I'm going to be doing full application on I think 3 of her fingers, so the pinky, the pointer, and the thumb. On her ring finger, we're gonna do another solid nail. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I did the full color of this on 4 of her fingers. On her middle finger, we're gonna be doing a 2-color, or I guess a 1-color ombre. I'm gonna be ombreing from this Bear color to clear at the tip. So basically we're just using this 1 color. It's really, really gorgeous. I am not gonna be clear capping her nails, so I'm building up structure as necessary necessary. As you can see, I did a nice bead towards the middle of the nail where that free edge is, and then I brush that product down. Then I do the cuticle bead. I am patting it towards the sidewalls, making sure it's touching all the way across the nail, keeping most of the product in the middle and then blending it down, and then adding additional beads as necessary. These nails are a little bit longer, so she does need some structure so that we have a safe nail for her to use for the time that she's going to be having these nails on. Yeah, so I'm not going to be clear capping. I'm building up with structure, and it's just a basic acrylic application. So for the middle finger, I wanted it to be a nude to clear acrylic nail. So I'm starting off with just a bead of clear acrylic around that free edge area, and I'm going to help to build up some of the structure of the nail. We're gonna, I'm air quoting, clear cap this nail, but not really, just to kind of build up a little bit more structure. So I'm just brushing that product down, always patting my sidewalls. I'm always patting the sidewalls. We don't want to warp the shape of our nails too much. It'll just give us more filing and more work to do. And you know, if you don't want to do more work, then don't. So as you can see, I've added a nice bead and maintained that shape really nicely on the sides, cleaning and patting constantly. Then I'm going to go in with that bare color and apply it more towards the cuticle area. I just want to cover her natural nail with this color, and then I'm going to ombre it down into that clear. So it will disappear into the clear. That's basically what we want. So basically it's a one color ombre with clear, but if you want to call clear a color, then it's a two color ombre. But I'm just ombreing that bare color over that clear tip that we just applied. Once I'm done with that acrylic application, I'm going in with a medium non-safety carbide bit. I have this at a medium to high speed, and I'm just going to be smoothing out the surface of the nail. Occasionally, you'll see me run my thumb down the length just to see if I can feel any lumps and bumps or valleys or anything like that that doesn't give me a completely smooth nail. I will use it like this on the side walls, on both sides, and sometimes on the free edge. And then I like to go from right to left around the cuticle area very carefully because, again, this is a non-safety. And then just debulking wherever necessary, using the e-file and this bit to kind of remove product where necessary to kind of push the apex more towards the middle of the nail versus it being back by the cuticle. So that's basically what's happening here. After using my e-file, I enjoy going in with this hand file, and this is I think this is a 100 grit, actually. It's not an 80 grit. And I'm just maintaining that shape that we worked on, making sure to clean that free edge. I don't know what's happening here. Clean that free edge and then make sure we have a nice sharp shape to the nail. So we wanted a coffin. I enjoy going in that up and down manner, but make sure you squeeze the client's nails. You do not want the nails to be wobbling while filing. It is very, very unpleasant. Now that we're done with that, we can get to the fun stuff of this set, right? So I'm spraying her down with alcohol again and using a manicure brush to kind of clean away any dust, debris, or oil that might be on the nail after having filed, right? So we're gonna go in with a glossy top coat. I know it's weird because we're not even done with the set, but the base of this is going to be glossy. I wanted to make sure that we had that glossy top coat down right away. So I'm going in with the Young Nails Manicure Glossy Top Coat. It is not a no wipe, so after having the client cure for 60 seconds, I will have to wipe off the inhibition layer with an alcohol wipe. No biggie. On the middle finger, because it is clear on the tip, I make sure to go on the top and bottom of the nail with this glossy top coat and cure before wiping away any sticky residue. And here we go with the fun stuff. So we are going to be hand painting some round French or almondy kind of French lines on these nails. I'm using a white gel paint. It's a little bit thicker than a polish. I thought that that would be great. I didn't have a silver. You know what's crazy? Now that I think about it, I do have a silver gel paint. I don't know why I didn't use it, but I thought I didn't have a silver gel paint. So I used white because it was the closest that I can think of. And this client requested, as you can see on my table, holographic silver French. So I thought that this was super duper fun. And I'm using a gel paint just because it's a little bit thicker. It's really funny that I didn't remember that I have silver, and I definitely have silver gel paint. But, you know, I used white. And as you can see, I am just trying my best to paint a very nice, loose and long kind of almondy nail bed shape. I prefer my French to kind of look like this, a little bit longer than it being like short and blocky. And as you can see, we did a great job with shaping the nails, so they have a beautiful crisp line after painting. I'm not using very thick of a paint. And as you can see, I am using my favorite designer liner brushes. These are from Amazon. I talk about these all the time on my channel. They are synthetic and come in a set of 7 nail brushes in different lengths and widths. and on the other ends of them you get 7 different dotting tools in different sizes. So it's a great nail brush set if you are looking to do any hand art. It is very, very affordable and works really, really well. So I'm using a very, very long striping brush, as you can see, and on this middle finger with the clear tip I am drawing a square French, I guess you can call it, around the nail, but the rest of the nails except for the ring finger will get that normal almondy round French shape. One more time, here's how I do this French shape. So I start in the middle and I draw a line from where I kind of want it to begin at the tip of that French cut. Then I go along the side walls and go as deep as I want it to be, and then slowly kind of start filling in the tip and swirling. I like to go from one side to the next instead of building one whole side and then doing the other. That way you can kind of make it even as you go. So I'm filling in the tip here, and then I'm going to start swooping that brush and kind of letting the brush do its job. It's a long liner brush, so you kind of just have to lay the brush on the nail and kind of just drag it along, and it will do its job for you. So as you can see, I'm filling in that French, and then slowly you're going to see me lay the brush on the nail and kind of just swoop it across the nail. I am not doing very much work with my wrist. You kind of want the long liner brush to do the work for you. So I'm going to slowly build up that round edge to match that first line that we drew towards the middle of the nail. And it's best to go from one side to the other side so that you have an even shape. You don't want to do too many swipes on one side because you may make your French look a little bit uneven. You want it to be centered to the nail. So as you can see, we ended up with a very, very nice and smooth French situation. And then I'm just going to smooth out those brush strokes on the tip, and then we can add our glitter. So this is a silver holographic glitter that I got from Michaels. It's a Recollections pack, and it's super, super fine and super, super pigmented. It's a holographic silver. It's super pretty, and I believe it came in a pack of maybe 30 or 40 different glitter colors. I will link that below. So the gel is still wet. I haven't cured that white gel paint. I'm dripping, as you can see, the glitter all over it, and I actually tapped it in with my finger before having her cure. After curing, the glitter is set in that gel paint, so I'm using my manicure brush, and as you can see, I'm swiping fairly, hard on her, not hard, but you know what I mean. The glitter is on there, so I'm just using this brush to kind of clean away any excess glitter, and now it is time for bling. So this is for a birthday set. I said, if we're gonna have glitter, we gotta have a little bit of extra sparkle, so I'm using some Swarovski rhinestones and some crystal AB rhinestones, silver caviar beads, and just small charms to kind of build up a rhinestone pattern on this middle finger. It's going to be pretty simple on the middle finger. On the ring finger, we're going to do something a little bit louder and more fun, but you can definitely just check this out. To adhere this bling, I'm using my Zule bling adhesive and my regular rhinestone wax picking tool. Nothing crazy. You can kind of see it coming into form. After I am done with the set and applying the bling, I'm just going in with another coat of glossy top coat around the stones, especially over those beads and caviar charms. Because they are metal, I do like to paint over the metal pieces. If I happen to get top coat over any gem, I just make sure to wipe it off with some alcohol before having the client cure, so that we have the full and maximum sparkle from these rhinestones and gems. After that, this set is basically done. And here is what that set ended up looking like. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you liked it. It was really pretty and soft, but just has enough sparkle to, make us all happy. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.